Hey yo, what's up you guys? So I'm coming to you another video. You know, for this video I kind of want to do something quick, something simple, and like talk about the culture war. You know what? I think we're actually winning the culture war. I think things are turning around. You like when it comes to the Riververse, when it comes to Dark Brandon, when it comes to the Rings of Power, She-Hulk, and the House of Dragon, where the latter is actually good. And so we're getting good content, and I think things are kind of changing. So I kind of want to talk about that real quick. So with that said, shall we begin?
So tall cause I'm balling. I was waking up getting racks in the morning. I was broke, now I'm rich, these niggas salty. All this is on my body, got me.
But first, of course, if you're new to my channel, what is up? My name is Mitch, Maverick Mitch. Hey Mitch, the call sign Don, and pretty much I like talking about what I talk about. So, current events, reviews, pop culture, social political commentary. Be sure to check out all those videos as you're finishing this video. And of course, please like, share, and subscribe as it feeds the algorithm. And let's get into it. Alright, so getting into it, I took kind of like a short hiatus type of thing other than my YouTube shorts, but you know, and I'm still busy, so I didn't know what to kind of talk about. But this video kind of reminded me, because I wanted to talk about the culture war, because I was watching a lot of things, again, like I said, things on TV, you know, like Rings of Power, She-Hulk, the House of Dragon, and then of course what happened in the last week with Dark Brandon doing his speech talking about all MAGA Trump supporters are like extremists, and I feel like things are changing, right? And I feel like, and I agree with Tim Pool, like that speech was like, it's afraid, you know, from like Starship Troopers, right? And so I kind of want to talk about, you know, talk about the culture war, talk about like how things are changing, right, and what that kind of sort of means. So let's start off with one, right? When it comes to the culture war and how I'm defining this, I don't think it's necessarily a definitive win, right? I think it's kind of like a never-ending tug of war, right? And because like in the 90s, it was really the Christian conservatives that was running the game. Now it's the left. Now it's the left that was taking over all of the institutions, whether that's entertainment, you know, movies and comic books and TV, and then sports and academia and news and everything. And so I think there's becoming a shift, like I said, right? And so first and foremost, I think again it's like a tug of war for the left. Really, actually, I kind of somewhat take it back or give a caveat. Like the left, in which I will kind of define as progressive, social justice, woke, borderline, if not on top of it, really Marxist. They're the authoritative people who, in all of this stuff, they definitely want the right to be canceled. They definitely want the right to be censored and silenced and in full submission to their authority, right? And then on the right, I'm going to be more libertarian, right? And so more conservative leaning, not necessarily Christian, but yeah, sure, it falls under umbrella. But I think if I were to label that as anything, I would label that as don't tread on me. I think that is the status quo. Like, as me as someone who's like a Catholic, yeah, would I love Catholic representation? Maybe, sure. But I would only like to see that if it, like, actually applies and is appropriate to the character. Matt Murdock, yeah, Catholic, but I don't need to have all my mutants to be Catholic, you know? I don't need a Catholic Jedi, I don't need a Catholic wizard, you know? I want those fandoms to be by itself. But for the left, they need their ideology represented, right? They have to have their validation represented, right? They have to have a gay character, trans character, they have to have a person of color, a strong woman character, and it's not like those attributes can be there. It has to be on the forefront, right? Again, like the biggest example I say, and especially when it comes to like a lot of the TV stuff, the most wokest thing, TV show that we were introduced in the beginning, but that has the elements of wokeness, but it's not really woke, is Battlestar Galactica. You had a gay admiral, female character, you had a female president, you had a gender swap with Starbuck, you have person of colors, gay characters, like I said, and all this stuff. But those attributes weren't there, but it was in the forefront. So when it comes to this talking and all of this stuff, right? So one, like I said, it's kind of like a give and take, but it's more of the left that would want the right to be in submission, right? And like, again, colloquial words and not definitive, right? But more or less the right is someone, what I would call, like I said, people who like don't tread on me, right? And that's the thing, right? Like I said, I don't need everything to be like Christian conservative. Like I like those representations, but I don't need all my fandom to be that, right? Now, again, what I'm getting into this video, and again, is this is not like a big video. I just want to kind of like really rant. If anything, I just kind of like give myself even like video topics for later videos and see how we are. It's kind of like a benchmark, because I've been writing it down as far as in the beginning, especially earlier this year. It was a G4 TV stuff, right? And so come fast forward up until September, it is fully gone. Like the Frost video is gone. Geeks and Gamers, Ryan RK Outpost did a video on it, you know. And again, like I said, like we're at this point where with Top Gun Maverick still in theaters since May, and it's still getting money, right? And so people, there's a shift, like I said, like there's Riververse, you know, all these things are contributing to it, right? You have the Daily Wire putting out Daily Wire Plus, you have Tim Pool putting out his music. All of these things are making a cultural shift to the point where we're getting Dark Brandon saying all this stuff against MAGA Trump supporters, right? And so I think another good example is, and I brought it up in the beginning, is the She-Hulk, Rings of Power, and the House of Dragon, right? The first two is definitely woke, right? You have insufferable female characters. You know, I don't mind your strong female. I like strong characters. I like strong females. Cool. I'm a big fan of Hunger Games and Katniss and the Mockingjay. But how insufferable was She-Hulk, especially with the twerking stuff, and it's just so it's oversaturated, right? And then same thing with Rings of Power, right? I will say it's not as horrible as maybe some people are out making it to be. It's very pretty. There's a lot of parts that I actually do like. One of them is the dwarfs, Disa and Prince Durin. I actually enjoy those moments, right? And it's kind of surprising because the actress that plays Disa, Princess Disa, is insufferable. Talking about, I want to be represented, I want to be the first black dwarf, I want to be like, I'm the first woman of color dwarf, whatever. But her as a character, and I can separate the artist from the actor, right? And she did good, right? But for the most part, but the catalyst of the Rings of Power is Galadriel, right? And people were saying instead of Gadriel, whatever. But, and agreed, like you jump in the middle of the ocean. And what was your plan there? It's not like you're jumping on the English Channel, and I looked it up, the English Channel, even if you swam it, is still 7 hours. I don't understand how you were going to do that. The whole, like, you know, you have Galadriel taking out a snow troll all by herself. You have those two elves, I forgot their names, it's Celebrimbor and Elrond, I think, and those are the names. And then they walked from there, from where they're at, to the dwarf kingdom, like with no supplies, and it's these things that are like adding up, and it's all of these things are dumb. And then contrast it with the House of Dragon, which is actually good. Like, is there woke elements? Maybe, sure, but they're putting story ahead. And like, again, I kind of just want to say, I think things are changing, right? I think things are changing. We're seeing things on the news with Brian Stelter stepping down or being removed. We have Batwoman being erased. We have a change in the WBCW type of thing, changing their stuff as far as like, I don't know if they're still gonna do the Ezra Miller Flash, but things are changing. And again, I think once people are talking about She-Hulk and how stupid it is, and as soon as people are talking about Rings of Power, how stupid it is, versus something that's actually good when it comes to like the House of Dragon, I think people are starting to wake up. Like before, if anything, it was very nuanced. It's people who were in this, you know, back in like even in 2015, 2016 with the Star Wars Last Jedi, we kind of saw it. We kind of saw the things, but I think it's oversaturated to the point where people, the normies, more normies than me, right? Like the actual, I'm like more casual on the later end, but on the more fandom nerd side. But the actual people are like, they can't really finger what's going on, but they know it's not good content, and I think people are finally waking up. So again, not definitive that we're winning, not definitive that we won, but I think things are turning, and it's really good, you know, and like to the point where Joe Rogan said vote Republican, right? And so I'll leave it there, right? And so I'll elaborate this. I'll do more thoughts on this in the next video and everything, but I kind of want there and talk about that and rant real quick about all of this in the culture wars. So yeah, if you like this video, thank you for watching. You can follow me on my Instagram at HateMitch. I'm on Twitter, Maverick Mitch. Follow me on Twitter and see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Peace, peace, peace. Be with you. Ikaw maspirito tuwo.